great day, AMP family. I pray that this finds you well. It's a beautiful day in VA. Hope everybody's doing amazing. All right, so today we're doing something different because we know it's Christmas time and all that good stuff is happening. People are going to be serving food, traditional foods for whatever Christmas dinners that they have or they're going to, and sometimes it's going to be potlucks and things of that nature, and you just want to make sure that you have the right dishes and you have the right things that you need potentially for that dinner to be successful, right? So today we're going to focus on 10 things you might need at your Christmas dinner to make it successful. So before we get started, make sure you take a second, subscribe, make sure you like this video because it really helps me out, and make sure you go on and watch it till the end because there's lots of information. All right, so I'm gonna be right back, and yeah, go check out the intro. See you in a second. Welcome back to the channel. All right, so we're talking about things that you may need at your Christmas dinner on Christmas Day to make it successful. One of the things that you're going to need potentially, or something along those lines, is ginger ale. Now, Seagram's ginger ale is one of my favorites because it's good for making quick punches. You can throw one of them frozen punch things in a punch bowl and make some of the sweetest stuff in there, and then they also have Sprite. So always definitely a good option just to have around at the table just in case you need it. And sometimes, you know, upset stomachs for the holidays, that ginger ale with the ginger always kicks it out. All right, so the next thing that you need to have is King's Hawaiian rolls. You can't go wrong with King's Hawaiian rolls. You could eat them right out the pack and or throw them in the oven for a few minutes, make them get a little toasty. You can never go wrong with King's Hawaiian rolls on your Thanksgiving table. It is wonderful. It's always good to have bread as kind of one of those fillers to go with the meats and things like that, so people can make their little sandwiches and things as they eating. Oh yeah, you'll never go wrong with that. All right, let's see, what's the next item? Item 3 that you're probably gonna need. Now, if you're at my house, you are probably Cajun born and you're gonna have gumbo, which requires you to have something to go in that gumbo underneath it. And so we're going with the rice. We go with the long grain rice always, or you could do the jasmine. Oh, it tastes wonderful underneath that seafood gumbo. And then it can go with any other dish that might need something under it. I know rice is one of those staples, so it's a filler, goes with other things, and it can make things happen. Yeah, so definitely make sure that you have some rice when you go over there. Oh yeah, there's one other thing that we got to make sure you have. Now we're on the dairy aisle, and as you can imagine, there are 3 things on this aisle that you're gonna need for this to be successful. One is the cheese. You can't go wrong without cheese. Look, if you don't have your cheese, that means nobody's getting that macaroni and cheese that's supposed to be made and everybody's supposed to be enjoying. You feel me? All right, so not to forget that, but don't forget that. Then you also need to run down the aisle and make sure you get you some butter. Now, don't get the margarine, because margarine is just oil, you know, made into butter. But get that butter. Get that Land O'Lakes salted butter, or unsalted, depending on whether or not you want it to be flavorful or not. And you can never go wrong with, last but not least, eggs. It's always gonna go something's always gonna need eggs, especially when you're cooking in the house for Thanksgiving, whether it's your egg salad or your potato salad or something you're baking, it needs eggs. So you gotta have the eggs. And last but not least, I know not everybody likes milk, but milk and cream, you gotta make sure that you have them available, because when people are coming to the house, and if people are cooking on site, you gotta make sure you have that stuff so that you're ready for that. So that knocks out, what, 4 items already that you might want to have on hand at the house. All right, let's get to the last couple. So one of the things that you probably want to have at your house, especially the morning of, as people are rolling in, as people are waking up, especially if you're hosting, is coffee. Look, I don't drink the stuff after working at Starbucks, but that's for another story. That's for another day. But having coffee there means that people are gonna be a little nicer as they sipping on that coffee. And lots of old people like to drink coffee after the fact. So after dinner is had and they're doing desserts and so forth, those pies and cakes that y'all made with all those other ingredients, that coffee can go a long way. And for the kids, hot chocolate. You can't go wrong with hot chocolate. All right, I think we got 2 more items to knock out and we'll be set for dinner, family. So one other thing that you're gonna make sure you need is yams, or as other people would say, sweet potatoes. Look, you need to make sure you have those on deck because somebody's got to have a bomb sweet potato casserole. You know, that's what it boils down to. And now whether you put marshmallows on it or you put like a praline topping or a pecan topping or something along those lines, make sure that you make it fire. And know if people in your house are allergic to it, because wouldn't you hate to go and have a sweet potato casserole that has walnuts in it or something along those lines, and somebody is allergic to it and they eat it and you got a problem. So just make sure you know who's gonna be eating that sweet potato casserole. All right, make sure you got your yams and so forth. And last but not least, one of the things that you can have as like a centerpiece or something just to bring some light and more Christmas into you, if you don't already have everything set up and decorated, is poinsettias. You know, a truly Caribbean flower that turns red in season, and when you put it back in the ground, it turns green until it's that season, it gets enough sun and so forth. Always a good little Christmas decoration that you can have around your house, that even if you don't have a whole lot else going on, having those signifies the holiday season. And you can make sure that you have a good time, especially at dinner. It brings it up without having to do too much. All right? Well, family, I hope you enjoyed our list of things that you might need for Christmas Day to make your dinner a success. Make sure you keep them in mind, make sure you write them down if you need them, and make sure you check and ensure that you have them at the house. All right, so know that I love you, God loves you even more. And until next time, be inspired, be edified, be encouraged. But God first in all that you do, love unconditionally, do what you love, and always live an amp life. Let's get amped. Woo!